Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to ToyBot Transform. Today we are going to be transforming this beautiful Masterpiece Megatron MP36. This is the KO version. I just got this a few days ago and he is absolutely awesome. All right, so the first thing we want to do is take off his cannon. We don't really need that for the transformation, so we'll just take that off for the time being and put that back on at the very end. Then we're going to want to turn his chest plate to the side like this, and you want to push and lift up. Like that. So basically, so that it goes up and looks like that. If this is your first time transforming him, it's probably going to be very stiff and very difficult to move that. So you just got to force it, man, is basically what it comes down to. Then after that, we're going to go ahead and lift his arms up like this. And we're going to want to pull out these side pieces right here. So this piece comes out like that. And this back one, this side does as well. So pull that out like that. You're going to want to extend them both like this. After you do that, you're going to want to turn them around so that they do a 180 like this. See that? And then you're going to want to close this together. So you want to make sure that that little plastic piece gets into the hole properly. That way they snap into place. It's actually not going to snap. You just kind of got to force it in. Like I said, if this is your first time transforming him, a lot of the pieces are going to be stiff and hard to move around. So, you know, you just got to keep working it. But that's how you do it. Okay, then we're going to go ahead and put his arms back down like this. Turn it around. So there's like a little flap right here that comes down. You're going to want to push this down. So it's super stiff on mine. So I have to use a little tool. There's a little tool that I use, and I put tape on it so that it doesn't hurt the piece of plastic. But if you use a tool, you can go ahead and flip it like that if it doesn't come off easily for you. Okay, so you're basically going to want to do that the same on this side. This piece comes down like this. Like that. And then on this back side, you're going to see that there's these little flaps underneath right here. These little flaps come off like this. You want to turn these around like this. Do a little 180 with those, like that. Okay. All right, and then after that, we're going to go to his shoulder. So right here, this little piece comes down like this. And this part right here opens up like that. And when it opens up, you're going to want to lift this little flap like this. And after you do that, you're going to want to close this shoulder piece like this. So basically, it looks like that. We're going to want to turn him around. Turn his arm. And we're going to want to pull and push this little piece over so that it closes like that. All the way. Make sure you hear that snap. And then you're going to close this like that. All right. The next step after that, what we're going to do is open this piece up, his little arm. And we're going to want to put his hand in there. So to do that, what you want to do is you actually want to put his thumb in here first. And then after you put his thumb in there, close up his fingers like that. You want to rotate his hand this way and just kind of pop it in there like that. Okay. And then this little piece right here, you want to turn that so it goes like this. All right. And this little flap right here, if it's not already turned down, yours probably looks like this. You're going to want to close this piece like that. Okay. And then after that, then we're going to want to collapse his arm in. So just line it up and it just kind of goes in just like that. So it goes like this. See, it kind of just comes down like that. All right, and then we're going to go to this arm. The same deal on this. You're going to want to lift this piece down like this. And then this piece opens up. When you open that up, you want to flip this little black flap like that, which it allows it so that you can close his shoulder piece right here like that. And line it up like this. And then we're going to want to push this part in like that. And you're going to want to push it in so that you hear it snap, okay? And then we're going to close this just like we did on the other side. So that closes like that. Now we're going to work on his hand on this side. So we're going to open that up. If you haven't closed his fist already, go ahead and do that. All right, so here's what we have. Now we're going to close his arm, collapse his arm like this. And we're going to turn around and open up this flap right here. We're actually just going to rotate it. So this flap moves like that, okay? And from there, now we basically want to pop out his shoulders so that you basically make like wings like this. So from there, see these little red pieces right here on his side? We're going to want to flip those up like that with your finger so that they come up and they go in right in there like that. Same deal on this side. And close it just like that. See? And then we're going to turn him on his back. Make sure that's lined up nice and good. We're going to flip this thing over his head like this. All right, and then we're going to turn this around. and basically just close these sides up. We're essentially making the barrel here. So when you do it, you just it's kind of be a joint effort here so that you can get, see that? You kind of got to like mess with it a little bit so that it connects into place properly, right? And his barrel, you're going to rotate this like that, right? So now he looks like this. All right, now we're going to start working on his legs. So his legs are a little bit tricky, but the first step that we want to do here is basically lift this up like this, all the way up like that, and then this piece kind of just lifts up a little bit. You got to pop it out like that. That way you can slide this piece out like that. You kind of just do a full extension like this. You're going to want to open this flap up as well, like that. And then we're going to want to go to the front of his leg. This little piece right here pops up and slides up. So you might want to just like put your finger underneath here to lift it up a little bit and just kind of push up like that. And then we're going to go to the back of his leg, pop this thing out by pressing this button, lifting this thing out like that. And then there's a little flap right here that we're going to want to lift up. And then we're going to go back to the front. Now we actually have to open up his leg up. So using your fingers, you kind of just want to pop it open like that. And when you open that, it allows it so that you can push this down like this and pull this piece out like that. Just like that. Because by doing that, it's going to allow you to be able to close and collapse his leg like this, okay? I want to make sure this thing doesn't get in the way. It's going to be nice uniform close like that, which then allows us to snap this thing in place like that. Okay, and now we go back to his leg. We're going to want to bring this part all the way down like this and just close this in like that, okay? And then we're going to pull these little pieces up. Might as well just do both on both sides like this. All right, now we're going to start working on his other leg. So for his other leg, we just want to basically just do the same thing. This piece pops out like that. And we're going to want to pop this piece out like this. That way you can lift this out and turn it like that. All right, and then we're going to want to lift this flap again right here. So kind of just lift out and just push up like that. All right, and then we're going to pop out the back. Pop that out like that, and then use your fingers to pop that out. Get that little flap from before. Just got to use your fingernails. All right, and then we're going to come back around to the front, open up his leg. So we're going to pry his legs open like that, which allows us to be able to put this flap down like that. And then we're going to pull this lever up and out like that so that it's straight. And that should allow us to be able to just collapse his leg in like that. Okay? And then from there, we're going to do the same thing that we did with the other one over here. We're going to push this down all the way. Like that. And then just kind of bring it in like this. This one came out, so you just want to do that. Alright, so basically we're looking like this now. In order to combine these pieces together, we have to get his two thigh pieces, his two thighs, and just collapse them in. This part's kind of tricky, especially the first time around. It's going to be super hard to do, but you got to like use all your muscle and just kind of like close it in. Alright, same deal on this side. Like that, alright? So that way it looks like this. And now that we have it like that, we can start combining his legs together. There's like little clips, divots that snap together. Right here. Like this. We got this piece. Right here. Goes in like that. That is this piece. That connects as well like that. And we got his lever. That connects like that. There. Alright, so now that we have that squared away, we're going to want to lift up these side flaps right here. They just come out like that. And underneath these flaps, there's an additional piece that comes out. So you want to use your fingernails here and kind of pop this piece out like that. Same deal over here. Pop that out. Bring this out like this. And then close this down like that. From there, we're gonna turn his body around. So literally just twist his whole body around like this. Make sure his pieces don't get in the way. So now he looks like this. So we're going to turn him around here, pop out these black flaps like that. So that they look like this. So we're just going to want to turn them so that they go down like that. So now basically you should have it looking like this. And then we're going to collapse these two pieces together like that. Open these up. Pop this piece out like that. All right, now for the tricky part. So for his legs, we're going to want to collapse these two little buttons right there. They're not really buttons, but they go in. We're going to want to completely turn his legs like this, all the way down. And then push this all the way through like that. See that? Back right there. Now we can start closing these flaps right here, these black flaps. Everything, you just got to kind of mash it together. See, like that. Just kind of mess with it a little bit. It will get in there. And it'll stay once it's in. Just like that, you see? Alright, now this little black piece right here, we want to lift this up so that it goes up like that. And now it's time to bring in his arms. So these arms are literally just going to like turn at an angle to connect over here like that. Okay? And then you want to make sure that everything lines up. I mean, at this point, you're making sure all the little pieces of plastic go in there, gets lined up and go in their holes properly. And just kind of mash it all in there. See, like that. Gotta make sure everything is aligned properly. All right, I'm gonna do that. So now, if this piece comes out, you just want to put it back together like that. Actually, the final piece of the puzzle is the scope. So the scope actually extends, so you want to make sure that you extend that because that's the way it's supposed to be on the gun. You just want to reattach it like that. There it is. So now that's the final piece right there. And you got yourself here a Megatron Walter P-38. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and put Megatron back into his robot mode from his gun. So the first step we want to do is take off his scope. That comes right off. I'm going to put that right there. Then we're going to want to turn this all over here. Reopen that back up. And then we're going to want to open up this chest cavity right here that we did. I'm going to open that up like that. Alright, and then after that we're going to go ahead and open this back up, or like this. Okay. Then you're going to want to get these flaps out right here. Like that. Pop this thing open. Do it again on this side as well, like this. Okay, then we're going to make sure that this piece is detached. So detach that right there. Actually, we do want to put this over here. So we're basically going to put his legs back up like this. And we're going to want to straighten his legs out like this. Like that. And then we're going to want to open these flaps up. Like that. Alright, then we're going to want to get this back out. Close it like that. Alright, and from there we're going to want to rotate his body again. So you're going to do a complete 180. Alright, and then we're going to want to close these flaps up like that. And put it back down to the side like that. Just want to close that like that. There. So now his waist is back to normal. Alright, now we're going to want to open his legs up. Pop his legs up like that. We're going to want to put his legs back into position. So earlier we had collapsed it. Now we want to put it back in normal. So you want to push up like that. And on this side, same deal. You just want to push up like that. So now his legs are starting to come together. Alright, so now basically we're going to go to his legs. We're going to want to take back these leg pieces like that. And just kind of extend them out on both sides. And on the back of his legs right here, we're going to want to pop these things back out like this. Alright, put these little flaps back in. Put this little flap back in like that. So we got to open up his leg basically like this. Okay. So then you have them open like that. And then we're going to want to bring this piece down like that. And get this flap back out that we put under. See that? Like that. Okay. And then from there, close it back up. You want to like that. Alright, then from there, you want to do this side, this leg as well. So we basically have to open his leg up, like we did the other side. like that. We want to push that back up, like that. Snap that in. Then we want to push this down, back down like that. All right, so now both of his legs should be looking like this. All right, now in order to close up his feet, basically what we want to do here is close this flap back up like this, bring this piece up, slide this thing over like that, and then bring it back down like this. It's kind of tricky, but then you close this and it all kind of just snaps together in like that. Might take you a few tries to do that, you know, it's kind of confusing the way it works, but you're gonna want to do that with both sides. All right, so on this leg, we're gonna basically want to do the same thing. We're gonna want to close this flap like this, lift this thing up like that, bring this thing over, slide it out like this, and then bring it back in like that, and snap this piece into place like that. All right, might take you a few tries on that side as well. We just gotta keep messing with it to get it. Then we want to close this part back up. That part snapped in his leg. All right, so now we have his legs are done. All right, then next up after that, you want to make sure that this piece is closed. So we close that like that, push that down like that, and then we want to bring this over and start opening up his barrel again. So this piece just kind of pops out like that. Slide that out. Slide this piece out like that too. Like that. We want to bring his shoulders down and bring this back piece. We're going to open this back piece up like that, all right? These little flaps, we got to turn those back around like they were before. So we turn these that way. We're going to turn him around. Now we got to take out these little side pieces right here. Just like his, kind of like his rib cages area. This piece that we took down. So I'm going to bring that down on both sides like this. Like that. Okay, so both of those sides are pushed up like that. And we're going to want to rotate his arm. You just rotate both his arms like this. So here's what you have. And we're going to want to extend his arms back out. So you just pull it out like that. All right, and we're going to want to open his hand back up like this. And then you want to make it so that his thumbs are facing up. Then we close that. Then we come back around this side and flip this thingamajig that we moved earlier. Like that. All right, and then we're going to do the same thing on his other arm. Extend it out. Pop out his hand. Like this. Close this. Bring this around and flip this thing over like that. Okay? Actually, on this side of the arm, don't forget to open this flap back up. So we actually have to open that flap up like this. That takes care of that part. Now we're going to open up these pieces. So we got to open up this side right here. And then we got to do the same thing on this side. So you just kind of got to muscle it. Mine is super stiff. So you just got to like muscle it extra hard. So it looks like that. We're going to want to take this piece back out. Like this. And we're going to close. Change the shoulder back like this. All right, we want to open this piece back up like that. We want to close this piece like this. Bring that back in there like that. And shut this back like this. See? We're going to want to do the same thing on this side. So this piece opens up. And then get this flap, close that like that. All right. Bring this thing down like we did earlier. Pop his shoulders in like that. See how that goes like that? So it's like this. Now for the barrel, you're going to want to rotate this like this so that it can come back up like that. If you don't rotate it, it won't work. Okay? So make sure the tip of the barrel is rotated so that it's facing forward like that. He's almost done. All right, and then we're going to want to open up his barrel right here. So this piece just kind of opens up. Kind of got to fight it out. It's going to be really stiff. Like that. All right, and then I like to just get his arms out the way a little bit so these things rotate down, and then put it at a 90-degree angle like that. Same with this side, down, 90-degree angle. Okay, pop his shoulders back in. Basically, these pieces just slide right in there like that. All right, so you have it looking like that. And also, I forgot about this flap right here. If you haven't put that flap down back, just pop that back down like that. All right, now we're almost done here. This is one of the hardest parts, is going to be trying to get his chest plate reopened. If you haven't done it before, then it's going to be super stiff. It's hard to get it back up this way at the beginning, and it's hard to get it back down as well. All right, for his chest plate, you can see here, there's like a little piece that comes down right there. I found that the best way to do this is to stick both your fingers on this piece and just kind of muscle this thing open like that, and it'll go down. Once it goes down, then you can flip his chest plate over like that, pop that back in there like that, and that's it, you guys. Megatron is back to his Megatron self again, and he's looking good. This is probably the most difficult transform I've ever had to do, but he's totally worth it. I mean, just because he's amazing. Look at him. Megatron is an absolute animal. I love this guy. All right, guys. Yeah, I appreciate you guys checking out the video, and make sure to subscribe to the channel to catch some future transformations. All right, take care.